We've been working very intensively with Airbus now for 12 months or so. We were clear that we wanted to be sole power plant provider for the product. We are delighted to be able to announce obviously the Trent 7000, which is a combination of the experience of the Trent 700, the architecture for the Trent 1000-10, and the technology read across from the Trent XWB. So we're very pleased about that, and I think the market has realized what a strong proposition it is, and we have now obviously been announcing a raft of orders in the last few days. There are many benefits. Obviously this is the latest technology engine. This is moving forward to 2017, quarter 4 2017. There's going to be a 10% SFC improvement on the product. We're going to see a 10 dB reduction in noise, which is half the noise signature of the Trent 700. And the bypass ratio will increase by 10 to 1, so that's a doubling of the current bypass ratio of the 700. In terms of the economic proposition, we're saying through life, it would provide an operator somewhere up to $60 million through the economic life of a product. We have a very substantial portfolio. Obviously we're working hard on the Trent XWB, and we have a substantial backlog of Trent XWB, approaching 800 aircraft. We start delivering this year with Qatar Airways in the end of Q3. On the Trent 1000, we're enjoying strong orders as well. We have somewhere over 40% market share, 42% market share for that program. Again, a lot of orders being placed and a lot of deliveries starting to occur. We've had the most reliable entry into service of ANA of any Trent product before. And then of course, this week with the Trent 7000, we've announced already 105 orders across several different customers. We're anticipating further orders in the coming weeks and months. So those are obviously the three most active programs, but of course we have a wider portfolio than that, which involves the Trent 900, still selling the Trent 900, and it's a very good product, improving yet further. The 800 and the 500 are obviously out of production, but are very important in our portfolio. And then the 700 is the strongest selling product on the A330, and we have 75% of the backlog in Airbus's production line there, so we're delighted with that position. You cannot get away from performance. The technology is leading edge. So we are producing the strongest products in terms of out-and-out operational performance, SFC. Where our reliability performance speaks for itself. The Trent family is the most reliable family of modern gas turbine engines in the marketplace, and we think our customers understand that. Our through-life fuel burn performance also is the strongest in the marketplace. But in combination with that, the service proposition we offer through Total Care I think is compelling, and our customers understand that. The take-up of Total Care is in excess of 90%. And I think the combination of strong product, strong service proposition is making what we offer a very, very popular solution to lots of customers.
Some in the aviation market, especially lessors of course, worry for the future because Rolls-Royce has such control now over a large segment of the wide-body market. They worry about the Total Care product and the transferability of the same. I wonder if you can allay some of those fears.
Yep, so of course we hear some of those perceptions. We think that the product is highly transferable. Our Total Care service offering allows product to move from operator 1 to 2, A to B quite easily, fully portable. We've been working very intensively with a number of investors and lessors of how we can adapt the Total Care product towards the end of life solution. So we've been calling that Total Care Flex. So I think our customers do recognize that we have today something which works well and does transfer well, but at the same time, as the product life cycle moves on, we are working with them to adapt that and meet their needs.
With regard to the Flex product, Total Care Flex, are you able to elaborate on how that might work? Some in the industry still aren't quite sure how the Flex product will actually work in practice.
So the product is still in development. We're in a pilot phase and we're working with those customers in terms of how we actually finalize the design of it. But simply put, it is about how you build engines for the final stage of the life cycle before ultimately retirement. It ultimately resolves around us being able to build engines to maybe shorter build lives, to shorter durations. We will maybe potentially exchange engines, or we will do full life build runs as well. So there's a lot more tailoring towards the back-end requirements of customers who may have a shorter investment period or may ultimately want to extract their investment from the product, and that's what we're allowing them to do with Total Care Flex.
regard to Rolls-Royce shareholders and their point of view, the aftermarket is obviously key for your revenue. However, the A330neo, back to the A330neo, that engine hasn't involved much R&D, so it should be a real winner for shareholders. Is that true to say that?
The product itself obviously shares a very close heritage with the Trent 1000 TEN, as I've said previously. We are obviously going to have to adapt that product for the A330neo, so it will be a bled engine, unlike the all-electric engine for the 787. And there are some other ancillary units, etc., around the engine which will have to be adapted for that A330 requirement. But beyond that, it's a highly mature product. We see it as low risk, and in terms of commercial proposition, we see it highly competitive with what's been before. So we are really quite confident and buoyant about its prospects in the marketplace.
So many people in the industry ask, why did Rolls-Royce pull away from a potential narrow-body offering? I wonder if you can elaborate on the thinking at Rolls-Royce in that process of pulling out and concentrating on a large turbofan.
So I wouldn't describe it as pulling out so much. We obviously evaluate lots of opportunities all the time. We had to balance the commitment of taking on board yet another development program on board with those commitments we've already made, and I think ultimately we looked at the risks about doing that, and we looked at what we already have to deliver, and I think we've come out with a balanced decision. We are very comfortable with our position. I think we've been on record saying that we are obviously looking for the opportunity to enter the single-aisle market in the future, and we think we have the technology to do that at the right time with the next new program.
And obviously Rolls-Royce now has huge demands placed upon it with regard to actual delivery. Will Rolls-Royce easily meet those delivery dates and delivery requirements, or will you be having to extend your current employment base?
We are delighted with the level of growth that's embedded in our business. This has been a long time coming. We've been able to plan for it. We have been pouring an enormous amount of money into our infrastructure. So, for example, in 2013 alone, we were investing close to 700 million sterling in our infrastructure. But that has been going on for many, many years. So you'll have seen the global footprint of Rolls-Royce increase. And that has all been built in and designed around ramping up production. XWB goes into service, as I say, later this year, October this year. And we know what we have to do, and I think we have a high level of confidence. Our production systems and our supply chain is scaled and sized to be able to cope with that.
Rumours of late of potentially an A380neo offering. Now those rumours stem from the potential of a Rolls-Royce engine being able to offer better economics. I wonder if Rolls-Royce are able to elaborate on what they could provide at this time to an aircraft such as the A380.
We of course hear those rumours as well. We are in constant dialogue with both Boeing and Airbus in terms of potential airframe developments. We don't get fixated in any one particular opportunity. What we are more focused on is developing the technology to be able to bring products to market in certain timeframes. So recently, earlier this year, we explained our technology roadmap. So by 2020, we talk about the advanced engine, and by 2025, we talk about the UltraFan. It's important to recognize that those products are scalable. They are not focused on any one particular airframe. They are there positioned so that if an airframe opportunity emerges in that time frame, we have the ability to respond quickly. So if Airbus were to elect to develop, for example, the A380, then we think we're in a good position to be able to respond, but really it's a question for them. I think you'd have to refer it to.
So when people argue about these neo aircraft having a shorter lifespan because new engine technology coming online, that's not really driven by the engine OEM, that's down to the airframe, because you already have the technology time frame in mind. Is that true to say that?
No, I think an airframer has to balance how much more performance they can get from an airframe development and how much the engine manufacturers can provide. And I think in certain circumstances it makes a lot of sense to drive the performance of the airframe through the engine products. You may hear certain lessors, for example, saying that they are very happy fundamentally with the product, but if they can get more performance out of it through technology trickle down, then that works. So we have a very strong track record of producing EPs, engine enhanced performance, so EP 1, 2s, 3s, and we will continue to do that. Sometimes there is a larger jump in technology because we're inserting a new engine, but I think nothing has changed, that will continue, and sometimes you'll get airframe developments and sometimes it will be engine developments to propel that product forward.
during the A340 investor event in December, I wondered if you're able to provide any update on what Rolls-Royce is doing to assist Rolls-Royce, to assist A340 asset managers and owners.
We've been making good progress since December. I think you've probably read about a number of aircraft which have already moved into new markets. We are confident that there will be announcements through this year that there will be more. Certainly in excess of 10 aircraft moving this year, which is great news, really good news. In terms of Rolls-Royce, we are very aggressively positioning our service propositions, so we have a commitment, as you know, of 4 for the price of 2. And we are following through on that, and I think the customers realise that, they see that, and are electing to go with our service packages, and product is starting to move, which is great news.